welcome to the Friday show. Today we have Jenna as our guest, right, Jenna?
Yep.
Who's a little under the weather.
A little.
She's been struggling with the cold, so she may have to sneak out and blow her nose.
Or something like that.
Or something like that.
Or cough.
Or cough, yes. So she is fighting the cold bug. How was everybody's weekend? Check in with us. Where is my my chat bar? Oh my gosh. Let's get that open. There we go. Aaron, yay, good morning and happy Friday. Team Jenna. That is right. Good morning,
I knew
Aaron.
this shirt would say something.
She was hoping to get some Team Jennas today. That is true. So how was your weekend? Good morning, Morgan. Or your week, rather, not your weekend. We're getting ready for the weekend. Yes. Hopefully you'll be feeling better so your weekend's not so crummy. Hopefully. Like her 3 cat naps yesterday and going to bed early.
Okay, I've never done that, so that's what I knew.
You did. You fell it. Yeah, I know.
I've never done that, though.
I know. That's what I knew, too. I was working with our designer for our software app yesterday for 5 hours. And I turn around and look, and Jenna is sleeping on the couch, flat out.
I've never done that, so.
It's been a long time since you've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then
I only do it sometimes at parties when it gets really late, but that's it.
Parties? How often are you going to parties?
No, here.
What parties do we have?
We do here.
What parties do we have?
A while ago.
We haven't had a party in a long time, have we? We probably should have a party. We've been so busy. No, we don't even have a life anymore. No parties for us. There we go. Denisha, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Renee and Denisha, Sarah. Yay, I know. Go Team Jeanette and Team Jenna. We just need a Team J. Team J, right?
Yes.
Yes. So Matt is not here today. They altered his schedule for the whole week because the president's been flying in and out of Vegas all week so that he could stay at his Trump Tower. So he has been doing...
He has a Trump Tower?
Yeah, he has a building, motel building, whatever. So he's been staying there, and they've been using, of course, their traffic guys. Those of you that don't know, Matt is a Henderson PD motorcycle cop, the one that gives you the ticket for speeding as he enforces the traffic laws. Not very well liked out on the road for most of the time. 2 hearts, yeah.
Okay, I want more than last show. I want more hearts.
Oh my gosh.
So we had, what, 5,000 hearts?
Yes.
Dad, I want more than 5,000, so start hard because I want more.
You're going to start this too, you and your dad. Oh my gosh.
2 hearts. That's it.
Quit wiggling. Wiggling the whole couch. There we go, Team J. That's right. Good morning, everybody. So, yep. Anyway, Daddy is stopping traffic around the airport at McCarran this morning so President Trump can get back out today, and then he does not come back tonight. So then Daddy will be home and our life will resume as normal. Here go your hearts, boo. Here go the hearts. So today on the Friday show is Ask Jenna. She knows a lot, I will say.
If I don't know, I'll ask her too.
Yeah, and then if I don't know, you're out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. I will say for a 10-year-old, what she has accomplished with training and her ability to read dogs is truly, truly incredible. She has a gift, and so now it's just teaching her to be able to articulate it, something I have struggled with too, when you just kind of innately know something and you can see something, but putting it into words.
It's hard.
Something that I've been challenged to do over the past 2 years so that we could help other breeders and be able to train. So I've been on that mission too. So now I'm pushing Jenna into the same thing of, okay, but what are you seeing and why are you doing that? And being able to articulate it is a whole different ball game of just something you know, and it's so innate to you. So Jenna is here. You can ask her a question about dogs. Aaron, Jenna, who is your favorite mama and daddy, dam and sire, and puppy you've helped raise and place with a family? So think about.
That's hard. My favorite.
So I think we have 3 questions. Who's your favorite dam, sire, and puppy you've helped raise and place with a family?
Orange Blossom.
She loved Orange. Is that your favorite?
That was my
puppy
favorite.
of all time?
I really wanted him. Yeah.
She really did.
My favorite dad is Augie, and my favorite mom is Eleanor.
Okay, and so I'm going to brag a little bit. I'm going to take the mom bragging rights. Jenna trained Eleanor all on her own. Eleanor came to us as a puppy, and she's also one of our moms in our program. And she has also worked on our therapy dog team. And Jenna did all the training. Like, it wasn't like I trained her and then taught Jenna how to train her. Like, I'm like, if you want her to be a therapy dog, then you train her, you do it. So she trained Eleanor, and then we vested her and took her out. The first time she worked, I think, was the October 1st shooting.
Yeah.
And she was put, Jenna, and this is what, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So you were what, 8, 7, 8? I think the youngest therapy dog handler, completely working a dog on her own. And I just had to have a little bit of faith and believed in her. And her and Eleanor they are amazing together. It's funny, Eleanor will not listen to anybody else like she listens to Jenna. We always have to be like, go get Jenna, then Eleanor will do it. Eleanor has this little naughty streak where she'll just do what she wants to do. And Jenna, the minute she hears Jenna call her or say anything, she is boom, on point. Then we got Augie as a puppy, speaking of which, and Jenna trained him. I have not done any of his training, and now Jenna can take Augie out in therapy dog work, and even took him to the Cosmopolitan. 2 weeks ago we did we were asked to come and talk about what we do for working dogs, not only our own therapy dog team, but producing working dogs, and Jenna brought Augie, and so it was incredible. So anyway, that's my mom proud moment. That is Jenna's credentials, being 10 years old and have trained 2 therapy dogs, more than most people, not just 1, but 2 therapy dogs that have worked, that do work, that have been put in unpredictable situations for therapy dog work, helping. So that's your favorite mom and dad, and your favorite puppy has been
Orange Blossom.
Orange Blossom, which was from Honey and Augie's Cavadoodle litter, our first ever Cavadoodles.
I loved
F1
him so
Cavadoodle.
much.
Jenna
I
love.
wanted him so bad.
She did, and I shared a letter that she wrote me. She left on my pillow. I go to bed one night, and you left this letter that she typed up and printed, all about why she should get Orange Blossom and that she would take care of him. And it was heart-wrenching because these puppies are sold. Like, we didn't have a spot on the list. We'd already filled the first spot for a working dog. And even if I wanted to, I couldn't have kept him for her because the spots were all filled. Yeah. But Jenna really felt like, Mom, just make it happen. Like, just keep a puppy. And so that was a valuable lesson to be learned, that puppies were spoken for. So, but we did good.
You gotta claim before they come.
You gotta claim them before they come. Great. That's what I taught her. Claim them before
and now
they
I
come.
want one of.
Oh my gosh.
I want one of Sugar's now.
Yeah, now she wants another Cavadoodle, but
we
just don't have enough of them. I keep telling her, you can't keep a Cavadoodle. We don't even make enough for people. We have people waiting 2 years for one. You can't. You can't. We don't have enough. Okay.
All right, I have a couple questions.
Oh, yes, you do. Jenna, how is Jack? Are you bonding with him? How is the training going? So
I love
us
him.
on Jack. Okay.
I love him. He's very sweet. Although it is kind of hard to train him sit because he only works for love and attention. So he won't sit for a treat, but he just stands there. So I can't. It's hard to train him sit. But
so why is that difficult? So we talked about this a little bit the other day.
Yeah.
Why is it difficult to teach a dog to sit? That their highest motivation is human affection, not treats. Why? Why is that hard now?
Because you can't.
What do you do with the treat that helps them get into a sit?
They want it really bad, so they'll jump up. But if you hold it there for a minute, they'll eventually get bored and sit.
So you're luring them into the sit. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You take the treat over them a little bit and close to them where they kind of have to go back into a sit. So by using the treat to kind of maneuver them into the position, then we name it and reward it. And when a dog doesn't care about the treat, now you can't get him into a sit.
I tried meat, cheese, his dog food. There's nothing. Toys.
No. Jack only loves people. Jack is obsessed with people.
That's it.
Yep. So now we have to. So how are you going to teach him how to? Because I'm letting her figure this out a little bit on her own. So I said, so now, okay, fine. This is a challenge when you can't use a treat to lure them into the sit. What are you going to do now?
That's the hardest part.
Well, what do you think you would do? I gave you a clue.
You did?
Yes.
What?
You don't listen to me. You're just like your father. Don't
I
listen
do
to
it.
a word I say. What are you
Okay.
going to do?
Well, I did sit on the dog.
Sit on the dog will help, yeah.
Helps with patience.
That
so
will help
he'll
with-
sit more.
Yeah, that's good.
So I did that
Yeah.
yesterday. Let's see. Ooh, I'm getting more hurts.
You are getting more honest.
Keep it coming.
Come on.
Okay, I can always just sit there and wait till he sits, and then
And
I
then
reward
name it and reward it. And what does he get for...
love and affection for sitting.
Yes, and he gets rewarded for sitting. So it may take a little bit longer. You have to have a little bit more patience
with him.
Yep, with him, and wait for him to go into a sit. See, so he just jumps and jumps and jumps at her because he wants affection and love, and he's a little demanding. So we need to work.
And he barks when you don't love on him.
Yeah, so we're working on a little bit of self-control with Jack, and so you just have to ignore him. So we're just ignoring. He jump and jump and jump and jump. Jenna, jump. Ignore all of the crazy. And as soon as they have to stop the behavior at some point, so as soon as he stops and sits down, boom, name it, sit, reward with love and affection. So it just is going to take a little bit longer, but I think that will be your easiest way to teach him how to sit.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Okay,
But
moving
there's
on.
some other ones.
So yeah, we're loving Jack. So that's our obstacle with Jack.
Oh boy,
though.
this one looks
If
hard.
I'm not supposed to start tether training into 12 weeks, where should the puppy be when I'm home? When I'm home but unable to supervise. I work from home several days a week and wondered if I should set up some sort of puppy playpen for when I'm not able to be attentive to him. He will sleep in his crate at night, but I just don't want him to spend that much time in there. Great question.
So I was gonna say to put him in a kennel for that time, but since he sleeps in a crate at night, I would. Do you guys have a doggy door? So if you do, then you can set up a pen outside the doggy door, and you can put him out.
So then you're not backtracking on potty training, so that's always a good option if there's an outdoor play area for them to have a little bit of time.
Or you can do this the doggy door. You can put an inside little pen and an outside little pen, so they can go in and out.
So it's connected to the doggy door, okay?
So
and it's all safe and puppy proofed.
Yes.
So we do that with our puppies too. We do the
that's
fencing inside, pushed up against the doggy door, and then contained safe fencing outside, especially if your yard is large or you have a pool. You don't want them eating rocks, eating plants, so that they're contained in a safe area. They can go in and out.
Can't get out of the fencing.
So what else can she do? There's something else she can do that we do. So if you can't start tether training, what do you start with though?
Put them out in puppy runs. So
you could put them out into a puppy play yard if you have a safe area outside. So we do rotational training or rotational where, kennel time, outside yard play time, house time. But what else do you do, Jenna? You just said you did it with Jack too. You're teaching him. You just started. And you brought him in the house yesterday. What are you doing? Sit. Sit on the dog. Sit on the dog activity is a fantastic thing to do since they're still a little young to be doing tether training where they have to follow you walking around. But sit on the dog.
You sit on their leash and you can't give them anything. You can't look at them. You just ignore them.
Okay, so explain sit on the dog to someone because you're not literally sitting on the dog. What are you doing?
Okay, so you have them on a leash that's pretty small. You don't need it big. You don't need it too small, but medium size.
6 feet.
Yeah, 6 feet.
Okay.
4 feet maybe. And then you find a spot that you're comfortable, and you have your computer or whatever, and you sit on their leash.
Home. Okay.
You sit on their leash for about 30 minutes at a time, or you can sit on more, but it has to be 30 minutes because if it's less, they're not learning really. So do it for 30 minutes, and then you can't look at them, give them love. You can't do anything with them.
Why?
Because then you're trying to teach them patience.
So if you're and self-control.
Yeah. So if you're, let's say, out in public with him and you start talking to somebody, you can't pet him or look at him because you're talking to somebody else.
The dog's not being demanding. Good. It's like teaching a kid. You have to wait when they're talking to an adult, or you have to wait and be patient. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you. As I'm saying, to teach kids proper. Great. Okay.
But then they have to learn that they can't bark or jump on you. They sit down and relax.
Yep. You're teaching them a long down, basically, Or if you're out in public and you do stop to talk to somebody, your dog has the patience and self-control that you have laid the foundation for, that then they just politely and quietly wait. If you sit on the bench, if you go to an outdoor cafe, if you go to Yogurtland, and anytime you sit down, and they will start to translate it even standing for a long time, that they're patient and they wait it out. So at first puppies will, and just make sure they can't chew on the couch or chew on something. So younger puppies, we even suggest giving them something to do in their long down, their sit on the dog activity. But we do have a video covering this at 4ekennels.com. Click on videos and look for the video, the sit on the dog activity. And Jenna and I, we even have a video way down at the bottom where we show you what it looks like for a puppy just starting and a puppy that's been doing it for a while, and the difference already. Like, the sit on the dog is life-changing. Everybody should do this activity with their puppy, every puppy, every day.
So with Jack, though, when he first did it, he freaked out. He was jumping, kind of choking himself out.
Yeah.
It's going to look scary. It's going to look like they're
alligator rolling. Yeah.
But you just have to ignore them. Eventually, they'll come back knowing that if they come close to you, it doesn't choke you or choke them. Then they'll eventually sit down and lay down and take a nap.
That's good. So they learn.
They know that they can't
release
leave.
of pressure comes coming next to you and relaxing. Same idea for horse training. The release of pressure teaches to come close to me, and there won't be the pressure, the consequence of pulling and acting like a ding dong at the end of the leash. There's consequences to that. You come next to me and lay down, no pressure, release of pressure. Good luck, Morgan, with your new puppy. Thank you, Chris. It says, I'm so proud of this relationship you have as a mom and daughter, and then a business team. I'm jealous. I want to be Jenna. I do too. I want to be Jenna too. I know.
Stop rocking, Mom. You're rocking the whole couch.
You were tap. What were you doing? You were like tap. Yes, you were bouncing though. That's different. Bouncing. Okay. So wonderful, Jenna. I love your enthusiasm and passion, and your smile is absolutely beautiful. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Aaron. Melissa, come on, everybody. Let's help get Jenna more hearts.
Yes, I agree. We only have
She needs
like
to
2,000.
regain the title from Matt. We are at 2,000. What was ours? 5,000 is the.
We need to get 6,000 or
Bethany
more.
Matt. She meant beat Matt. Absolutely. Thank you, Melissa. She's helping you.
Yes.
Good morning, Letitia. Jenna, what is your favorite trick to train?
Oh, I have a lot. The first 3 days, you want to connect with your dog. You want to connect with the puppy so that they can trust you when you're doing exposure.
So
or
just
anything.
connection. So you take home a puppy or even an older dog. She's saying
the first 3 days of your new puppy, you want to be quiet, nothing. You just kind of love on them. And then after the 3 days, maybe the first or 2 days, you play with them a lot. You kind of get them used to the leash a little, like let them drag around, and then you start all the training. And that's my favorite trick, is to bond with the dog.
Okay, but they're talking about not tricks to training, but what is your favorite trick to train? Like Augie to dance. So she'll say dance, and he'll be up on his hind legs and spin. Like it's super cute.
I don't really do that much. That's the only
We don't do a lot of trick training. That's probably my fault. We really focus on true obedience, foundational work, calm focused. Behaviors, exposure.
I would love to trick train, but
you can.
You don't have experience, so I don't have anybody to look on for that.
I can teach you trick training, roll over. I did dance. I showed you how to do dance for Augie. You can do bang, where they pretend to play dead. We just don't do a lot of trick training with our working dogs. So, so maybe that is a good suggestion.
I've done hug.
See, you've done trick. Yeah,
hug.
They hug. Yeah, hug. A dance, and there's lots of trick training. We haven't done a whole lot of that, but we can definitely. Trick training's fun. Yeah. Some people do speak. You could do roll over. Augie does dance. Those are tricks. Okay.
Augie, come here.
All right.
Oh boy, come here.
Do you use a clicker when you train, Jenna?
No.
Why?
I don't use clickers.
You don't use clickers?
I don't think that they're handy. Like they don't honestly do anything for me. I think it's just better to do it original.
Use the marker as your voice. So clicker training, for those of you that know, A lot of people use clicker training to mark the correct behavior. Good grief. So if the puppy, if you say sit or they sit, you click it, that's the marker, and then reward. So you use the clicker. I think clickers are great for dogs that maybe lack in intelligence, but generally your smarter breeds, your working breeds, we can bypass the clicker and use our voice as the marker. So what you want to do is, the thing about the clicker, it's the same, the clicker, the same rate, the same sound every single time. So you want to try to replicate that as much as possible. So my marker is yes, yes, and I say it just like that every time. Yes, yes, and then reward. So have whatever it is. Yeah, good boy. That's kind of long, but you can have that as your marker. Our marker is yes. And
I usually always say like good boy as like good boy. As I'm petting him or giving him the treat.
Yeah, but
that's what I do. Some people say yes, some people click.
This is a little longer, and good boy. So marking that behavior quickly, efficiently, correctly. Timing is everything, and then reward. So we don't do clickers.
No,
then you gotta have the treat, you gotta have the clicker, you got the leash, you got like
when you always have your mouth.
You always have your mouth. That is right. Use the mouth. That is right. But if you're a clicker person, it works.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that it doesn't work. One less thing to do. I'll just use my mouth as the marker. Okay. Wait until you see my 2 evaluation videos. Oh, I know, I got to do that today, Melissa. It is on. Sorry, my meeting yesterday with the designer took 5 hours, and I was unbelievably mentally exhausted afterward. So I will get to your videos
peanut
today.
Butter?
I'm anxious to see.
I'll try that. I wonder if you'll.
My daughter was successful with peanut butter with no xylitol for the high. We could see if Jack likes peanut butter.
I haven't tried that. I mean, I've tried it with Augie for.
Yep. Shaping or capturing are amazing. Good morning, Sarah. Stacy, good morning. Maggie wasn't treat driven either, so it was reward. Yeah, it can make it a little more difficult. Here is Dawn. They took home Smedley. Jenna, during the evaluations of Penny's Peppers, you held up Pimento, now Smedley, and said, he is just perfect. You are right. He is so perfect, and thank you so much for your hard work in making sure he is the best addition to our family ever. We are so grateful. We have practiced the puppy recall 3 times, and Smedley stops what he is doing, even playing with his favorite toy, and runs. Excellent. That's exactly what we want. Will you explain the puppy? For people that don't know?
What I've heard you do is like what I've heard you say is if they get out and they know what puppy means, if they're like in the street, you can say puppy, and they'll come running to you.
Yeah,
they know.
Be careful in the street, because if cars are moving, you don't want to bring your dog back across into traffic and they could get hit.
But if they're about to go into the street, they can turn around and come back.
If we can get them before they go into the street, that's great. But keep in mind, if they cross the street, I'm not going to call them to come back across unless I know there's no cars. So keep that in mind. Our puppy is a life-saving command. It is not to be used to call your dog to come in from outside, to go into their kennel.
That's what their name is for.
Yeah, that's what come is for, teaching come or let's go. And the puppy is, we imprint it with our puppies here at 4E Kennels, and so they go home knowing what it means and to stop, drop, and run, basically. And it has to be 100% reward every single time. You're just continuing. Just like when you practice CPR, you're just practicing in case you need to use it as an emergency. And so it has to be randomly twice a week even. You can move into twice a week. When they're busy doing something, just call them puppy, and make sure it's a high value reward. That's the only time they should really get hot dogs right now or something really high value, tiny little piece, lots of puppy praise, super puppy party. So you just keep laying that foundation of, hey, when I hear puppy, that means I better hurry up to mom or dad, because it will be a party just for me. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're just continuing that. Hopefully, you'll never have to use it, but in case you have to, you have done the work, and it can and will save your dog's life.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Right, let's see, what
heard
else?
It several times. Does sit on the dog work with older dogs like a year? What do you think, Jenna?
Okay, so I was
So they've
working
never
with,
done it. Let's say they have I assume, Sarah, let's say you have a year-old dog, or you get a rescue and you bring a dog in. Would sit on the dog work? What do you think?
So year-old is hard because as a puppy, I've learned this. You want to train them everything when they're a puppy.
No, but you don't have the opportunity. They're older. Or you didn't know about sit on the dog. Can we do it with an older dog?
Yes, but it's not as accurate sometimes. You gotta do it more. You might more time than 30 minutes.
You think just do it longer?
Yeah.
Okay. So my take is absolutely do it. It will work.
Yes.
I don't think you have to do it longer. I think it depends on the dog. The whole point is what you want them to do is to learn, hey, when I sit down, I go into a long down automatically without command. And I am able to self-soothe, I'm able to sleep, I'm able to relax and just wait out whatever the human needs to do right now. So absolutely, there's no age limit on the sit on the dog. You can do it at any age. So if your dog is older, so imagine this, and depending on what your dog does now, imagine being able to go anywhere, and when you sit down, your dog goes into a long down and naps and waits out that time. It truly is amazing, and it has given people,
when they're jumping on you.
Yeah, it has given people the flexibility, the freedom to take their dog out, to travel with their dog, because no matter where you go, they just know, hey, mom sits down, I go into a long down. You have to practice this. You have to proof it. You have to add distraction. You have to go to different places. Even as a puppy, unvaccinated, we say do it at the kitchen table, do it at the couch, do it at the front porch, do it in the backyard. Yeah. Do it in every single room possible. Bring your book, bring your computer, sit on your phone, and then you start working different areas in public, the park, outside Walmart. Imagine, think about your dog going into a long down. Yeah, at outside Walmart with everything going on. You have to work to that. Don't expect your new puppy to go from your couch to Walmart, but that is the goal, is that it can be a very unpredictable environment and your dog just goes into a long down. This is essential for our therapy dogs and our service dogs as well, that no matter where we go, no matter where we're at, I just took Hannah and Holly to the Cosmopolitan, and they know too, because I stayed standing, but I just dropped their leash, and they know literally, for most dogs, you drop their leash, that means they run. Mine mean long down. And I could drop their leash, and they just both went into a long down and waited out until I gave them the command to let's go. We're moving rooms. So yes, it's an amazing foundation. You can do it at any age. Yeah.
Yeah. When you bring them out to public, I like Home Depot, because sometimes there's really loud noises, like wood getting dropped or stuff, and it's really, because it's like loud noises, and other dogs could be there too.
So sound exposure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, good. Chelsea, a different type of clicker training, trying to get Jenna more hearts. Absolutely. So click, 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 click those hearts. Oh my gosh, Jenna, you're at 5,000 already. Oh, we're going to have to take a picture before we end this live broadcast, because it won't show up on Facebook as 5,000 likes. It only shows the amount of people. So if there's 30 of you or 50 of you liking, it will only show the 50, the amount of people, not how many you did on the final broadcast. So we'll take a picture to show Daddy that we do have proof that you are going to be the reigning champion once again. Okay, thanks, Jenna. When and where should I start with a prong collar? Good question. A prong collar is an effective tool if used correctly. Just like anything in life, if you misuse something, it can be, what's my word?
It can be ineffective.
Yeah, not even ineffective, but it can be punishment
harmful,
or harmful. I mean, even think of a hammer. When used correctly, we can build a house. We can take nails out and put nails back in. We can open the paint can so we can paint. We can do some amazing things with a hammer. But if in the wrong hands and used incorrectly, it can be used to kill somebody or really, really hurt somebody. So it's the same thing with tools for dogs. A flat buckle collar could be used to harm a dog. So with that spiel out of the way, a prong collar we love as an effective tool when used correctly. So when can you start to use a prong? When do you think?
I usually don't use prongs on like the puppies I'm training at the time. I try to get them used to the normal collar.
Good.
Like I don't use prong for Augie. because I usually carry him.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever even been on a prom.
He follows me, so
Yeah.
it doesn't.
That
wherever I go.
high pack drive, yeah.
If
But when should she start using a prom?
if you're gonna use a prom,
Prong,
whatever.
yeah. Prong.
I would wait.
16 weeks.
I think they heard that.
16 weeks.
16 weeks. 16 weeks or more. That one stumped me a little.
There's no wrong or right, but we generally...
Just be careful with it if you're going any younger.
I'd really try to kind of lay that foundation of trust, and then what you do when you do implement the prong, I have such a good foundation of trust with my dog, and I'm not using it to yank them back. So the first time you put your dog on the prong, I just kind of kneel down. And then eventually, like a puppy at 16 weeks old is going to get bored, like, well, whatever, mom's kneeling down, and is going to try to go, but they're on a leash with the prong. And the same concept of the sit on the dog, see, you've already done the work. The same concept, when you pull your leash or when you try to leave me, there's a consequence. The prong will naturally give them that little reminder, like, hey, not a good idea. Come on, dude, come back. And you come back to me. There's no pressure. There's no reminder. You leave or you pull. You did it. You gave yourself the consequence. That's what we love about prongs. Later down the road, if there is some aversion, behavior problems, you could do it as an aversion to something and give them that little snap reminder, like, knock it off. You're not going to bark at another dog or lunge at a dog, or we're not doing that. So it's a great tool then to have later. The same way a remote collar can work as a reminder if you have to. That little buzz that says, hey, don't go into that state of mind. We're not going to escalate to dog aggression. We're not going to escalate to that excitement or whatever you may be dealing with. So it's a great little reminder for dogs to stay in a calm state of mind. All right, how long should we hand feed our new puppy?
Okay, so you don't want to do it for too long because then they'll only eat their food if you hand feed them.
That's true. They're so smart. That is true.
Maybe
we don't want a problem. So how long do you think? Do you know what I usually recommend? Jenna's learning a lot today.
A week and a half?
8 weeks.
8 weeks?
8 weeks. Going home. So they're about 16 weeks, right when we hit, we're able to transition that. Now we're all, the main foundation's been done. The first 16 weeks of a puppy's life is truly the most important as they're forming and growing just like a child, empowering, making sure the world is safe, people are kind, dogs are friendly. Every exposure activity they've had is positive. That's why I generally don't want to use even a prong yet. But I will if you have a puppy that's fairly assertive and challenges a lot, very stubborn and assertive, then put the prong on them sooner. I mean, if that's what you need to do to be able to communicate effectively with a dog, that's the most humane thing you can do, is to be able to communicate. So we generally say, though, hand feeding if you can for 16 weeks, and then after that it can just be random, just to kind of flesh out your, I guess, beef up your skills again, is, hey, let's do some work. I love using their kibble as work. Nothing in life should be free for a dog. So even their food, even if it's as simple as they have to just sit and be calm and give you eye contact for 10 seconds, even if it's just that, a dog should have to work for their food. So even if you're not hand feeding now, you can just be holding their bowl. Make sure we're in a calm state of mind. We're not rewarding any crazy. We have good eye contact. The dog's looking at me, not the food. And then put the food down. You could do a stay and put the food down and not release them until you give them the command, go eat, or whatever you want to do. So there's lots of different ways you can still continue that work you've done with hand feeding beyond that. All the food in the bowl. There's lots of different things you can do. So. 16 weeks. So Jenna does good. She does a lot of our hand feeding for us with the puppies. So.
I don't care about the food on my hands.
Yeah. There's
Matthew does.
Yeah, Matthew doesn't want to be touching the dog.
No.
So there's two different ways you can do it. So you can do like a whole scoop at a time, like if we're kind of in a rush, right?
You can do like just your hand. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Okay. Or then you measure out their food and you put it in your little fanny pack and you feed one kibble at a time because they're following you nicely on a leash. They're giving you eye contact. We're doing some marker and reward work. So we work all of our puppies on kibble initially. We don't even buy treats. I always tell my clients, don't buy treats, work with just your kibble first. We'll have time to work into treats when we start working with distance, duration, distraction, proofing type training, where we're really escalating on what we're asking from our puppies. So we use kibble first, and then we move into treats. If you start with the high value Zooks or hot dogs right away, what the heck are you going to use when you start working with putting your dog in a long down out in public and moving 20 feet away? Like, the hot dog's not going to work anymore. So don't put yourself in that position. Start low, start with kibble, and work into higher value treats. Yeah, and then essentially no treats. So that is what has worked beautifully for us. Food for as long as we can get away with it, and every dog's a little different, and then we'll move into higher value treats, from rotisserie chicken to hot dog to Zooks to stuff like that, and even cheese. Okay.
I use cheese a lot too. Right,
how do you keep them from pulling on the leash? Okay. There's lots of different ways to do this. Okay.
What I sometimes do is, sometimes it seems a little aggressive, but it's not when we do it. When they pull, you kind of pull back, but you don't pull back as like a tug of war, but you pull back kind of
just a quick snap.
Knock it off.
Okay, knock it off.
Just stop. And as you do it, you say like stop, like knock it off or stop or whatever you want to do. And then if they keep doing it, then you keep doing that. Eventually, it's uncomfortable on their neck, so they won't do it. Because they see, if I pull, I get snapped. But if I stay by her, I get a treat. So that's one way to do it. Sometimes I don't listen to it, but what's your way?
That's my way. Yeah. So I generally, starting off with the puppy, and I know Jenna does too, because I've taught you and I've seen you do it. You put their food in a fanny pack and you're feeding them their food, so they're hungry, but you're walking them. So you're laying that foundation. Again, stay with me, follow me, focus on me.
You get a treat.
They get their whole breakfast, one kibble at a time, basically. It's a workout. You're bending over a ton, but you're walking them and working on the leash. So anytime they're on the leash, it's either sit on the dog or I'm feeding them while we're walking on the leash. So again, I'm just reinforcing, stay with me. But will that always work